challenge. And again, this is trying to break it into what can we fiscally do this year and what do we need to do long-term. So as we look into next year's budget, one of those things that I'll be looking towards is laying out some funds to look at the global website. But as we put out, there's certain things you want to make sure that you take care of this year as well.
Right.
That sounds like it would be a good topic for an independent study at the high school.
There you go. I would agree. And I think some of the challenges that, where I came from, we had, like a teacher that was doing web publishing all the time. We offer a class, but we don't as yet have, I think that core. And again, when we look at staffing as we move forward into next year, we have spaces here, a TV studio, a video production lab, a computer lab that I think really require some expertise. And this kind of gets into what sort of elective program do we want to have, and what would be beneficial for the district in terms of communication. It doesn't preclude an independent study. I shared with the communications group that I went in my penultimate year in my last district. I set out money for a website, and one of my high school students took that as a personal challenge and developed what is currently their new website on his own. Laid out the framework, and of course he was able to parlay that into a free ride at a college to show, look, this is
too late for school choice for him.
But so it's I think we shouldn't turn our nose up on good volunteer help, but I also think that if we want to make sure some things happen this year, and it's one thing for a student or a volunteer to come up with the framework. At the end of the day, it needs to get populated with current information, and the student can't come up with that. That's what the principals and their staff need to do in each building. That would be it for me.
Thank you, Scott. Any comments or questions regarding Scott's report? Hearing none. We have a couple of action items. The first one being payment of prior year invoices. Katie, you're up again.
I included in your packet 2 invoices that were from FY14 that, quite frankly, I don't know what happened to them. They just fell between the cracks. One is for the water department in the town of Chatham. We have an invoice for $583 that needs to be paid. And we also have an invoice for $172.50 to the Howardsport Heating and Cooling. These came after the books were closed for FY14, and since I'm asking if we could use the current year money to pay these prior year invoices.
What time frame were they from?
Let's see, the water bill, the last reading was April 25th, and the both of them, the Howardsport Heating and Cooling was a job that was done in March.
Okay.
But I don't know what happened to the invoices.
Steve.
I move that we approve the payment of the 2 prior year invoices as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Thank you. You'll see one of them we received on September 10th, so we didn't have it in our possession prior to that.
The next item is declaration of surplus equipment.
So we have 2 items that were included. One is the granite Howard High School sign that we need to declare surplus, and I don't know if anyone wants to speak to that. And the other are the basketball hoops that we have over at Chatham Middle School, that we have basketball courts that we need replacement frames, so we want to sell these and buy the right.
Are these the 4 that were just donated to us by
Yes.
Yes,
the Southern Chapter of Young Presidents Association?
yes.
Yes. So, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. I'll quickly speak to both. The granite sign is the one that was in front of Harwich High School, donated by, I believe, this class of 1994. And I guess Alan Thompson has worked out with the Harwich Society, or the Harwich Historical Society, to have that sign put on their property. So it would be to surplus it and give them a green light to take possession of the sign. In terms of the basketball hoops, they are 4 really great portable basketball hoops. And off of Stepping Stones Road, there are there's 2 basketball courts with 4 hoops, of which, and they used to get extensive use by kids and community members. At the moment, it's getting limited use because there's only one backboard left functional after the last storm that came through. Literally, one of the hoops and backboards just disintegrated. 2 of the other backboards are only half a backboard is left. So the donated backboards and hoops, we would love to be able to mount there, but it's the wrong mounting bracket. So we can't, one of the facilities or folks had suggested just taking the portable hoop and chaining it to the post that's there. I had suggested to Katie that maybe the more aesthetically appropriate thing would be to surplus these and with the proceeds of the sale, be able to purchase new hoops that have the appropriate mounting fixture, so serve the same purpose, but would also then get these courts back in use with kids.
Any questions or comments? These were these hoops and backboards gifted to us?
They
Yes.
were.
With the original, those members who gifted it to, should they have first choice to say we have a better partner than us? I just feel funny that it's,
But it's a non-local group, number 1. It's a group from down south that was here.
They-
had used them and then
They had no place to put them or take them, so
They
I just,
they had them on tennis courts at Chatham Mars Inn, and when their function was over,
right.
they
okay, that's,
they surplus them.
yes, they surplus them to us.
Is this gonna go through a bid process for them to be sold? Are you gonna put out a
Well,
bid?
we don't have to do a bid because it's under $5,000, but we have to decide how we are going to sell them.
Yeah, I was suggesting to Katie that they're very nice hoops, and if we actually put the backboard back on it, I would imagine that we could put out something to our parent community and say, we have these 4 hoops, and have them sold that way, and I suspect that each one of them could sell for more than enough money to buy an equivalent type of backboard that could have the right mounting fixture, so that we could use it, not have a hoop change.
I hope that if we do this, that we make sure that the posts that are there don't need to be replaced next year. That if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it all at once.
The posts are really solid.
Okay.
The posts have gone through several hurricanes, apparently the backboards not so much.
Amanda?
As local residents who use that as our little playground, the basketball hoops over there, we've had some very sad children that are very excited about maybe possibly some new basketball hoops. It's been a little challenging to play horse, although very interesting to play horse with a half a backboard. But there are a lot of people from around the,
Which half?
yeah, it depends.
Left-handed? Lou, you had your hand.
Yeah, there's a little Baptist church in West Harwich that's very few members, and their basketball hoop is sad. So if you have one that doesn't sell, you might want to think of donating. They're a poor church. I don't belong to it.
I go by there every day. so.
Okay, all right.
Do we need a motion for this action, or? So
I
that's the
move.
chair's way of having a motion.
I move that we declare as surplus equipment the Howard High School granite sign and the 4 portable basketball hoops currently residing at Monomoy Regional Middle School.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you, Steve, Nance. Kathy? Kathy?
Katie?
Well, it's 9:30. You turn it to Kathy. All right, around now. Thanks, Katie. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
No,
Thank you for coming.
Fast.